Hello World, the unholy alliance between Reverend Al Sharpton and New York State Governor Kathy Hochul is quite an interesting one. And the reason why I say that is because you have the Reverend going around talking about DEI and boycotting. And what's the difference between boycotting and boycotting? Well, they're actually one of the same. It's just a fancy word. It's just intertwining again, trying to confuse people. The same purpose, goal, and impact is all the same. Again, the fact that he's supporting Costco and is stating that we, the people, should shop where we feel people stood up for us was a quite interesting statement he made to one interviewer. And the reason why I say this is because, again, he knows good and well that Costco versus Target and Walmart is the only store that's not closing any stores as right now in 2025. The fact that Al Sharpton, is again a very controversial individual, questions his leadership, and begs me to ask whether or not he's a leader or actually a self-serving hustler. And the reason why I say that is because, again, although he says to buy into Costco, he further than has reached his tentacles into other avenues in support of now trying to oust New York City Mayor Eric Adams. The fact that he chose to meet with Kathy Hochul in an attempt to do this was quite interesting because, again, it appears that Adams have now changed course, and now he seems to be all in for eliminating or getting rid of the illegal immigrants versus Sharpton, who seems to be in stance for keeping them here. And so my whole moral, we'll say conclusion, in what I'm trying to say is that Sharpton would have you think there's no alternative, or instead of mentioning the alternative to boycotting, I'll tell you what you can do. The alternative to boycotting is to vote with your wallet, align with your purchases, with your own beliefs. So follow no one, and again, do just that. Especially when you have other immigrant advocacy agencies or groups helping their own communities prepare, you will not believe, for illegal immigrants who's about to be deported. Check out this video.
Right now, immigrant advocacy groups are helping their communities prepare for the possibility of deportations, and that includes making a financial plan. Our Sabrina Fonza has more from the newsroom.
The fear is still very real for undocumented immigrants and their families. That's why groups like the Resurrection Project have been teaching Know Your Rights presentations, but now they're also pushing for financial literacy in the community, especially for those who have owned a home or who have established wealth of any kind.
We are definitely talking on protection of assets.
Lisette Carretero is the director of financial wellness at the Resurrection Project.
In the case where somebody is deported, what happens to their assets? You still own your belongings. If you're on title, if you have a mortgage, you want to make sure that
that mortgage is continuing to being paid. Essentially, when you are deported, regardless of where you stand in the world, you continue to be the owner of your belongings.
She and her team have been working to help neighbors buy their first home. 40% of those people, she says, are undocumented. Now they're making a push to teach them what to do if they're separated from what they own.
What happens to your home? Do you want to keep your home? Do you want to sell your home? Is your family going to stay here? Those are the questions that we start having with families just so that they can start preparing a plan.
CBS News Chicago has tried to accumulate data to show just how many people have been impacted by recent immigration enforcement efforts during the first 2 weeks of the administration. Nationwide, there were more than 8,000 arrests across nearly 24 cities. ICE has not released any recent data or answered our requests for those numbers, as immigrant advocates report fewer arrests than they had anticipated because of President Trump's promises of mass deportations. That doesn't mean their preparations have slowed.
Our educational efforts are going to continue because we've seen the impact and we've seen the aspects of being able to have a defense mechanism in place. And that really is a priority.
The Resurrection Project has also moved much of their instruction from in-person to the virtual space to accommodate fears in their own community. They've also encouraged people to make a plan for their credit cards and their car payments.